Calrossy community, it's great to speak to you just before school returns after our 3-week break. I hope that everyone in our communities enjoyed a positive time of rest, recreation and refreshment, and we're looking to return. As you know, the COVID-19 situation has changed and developed in our holiday, and we're fortunate with the timing of our return. The good news for us in regional New South Wales is we're able to return to normal face-to-face learning, and that's really, really good news. Borders are able to come back as well, and we're delighted with that. You will be aware, of course, that we're under level 2 restrictions, so there are some changes. So I'm just going to go through some of the implications of us returning in the next week or so. It remains that students or teachers who are unwell or who display cold and flu symptoms should not come to school. And if you do not come to school for those reasons, you are required to go and have a COVID test and not return until the negative test has been indicated to you. That's New South Wales health standards that we've been asked to comply with. Of course, I know that some people have conditions, hay fever or something else. If that affects your child, please talk to our health staff and your doctor because we don't want people to be restricted by something such as hay fever and the idea of having to be tested 3 times a week just to attend school. Of course, if you have a cold or flu, minimise contact as well because we don't want 20 or 30 other people at school being away simply for that cold or flu. Now, under level 2 restrictions, there are some requirements to us as a school, but we still retain lots of freedoms. If you now are a parent who would visit reception, you need to do the New South Wales Services COVID check. And all our secondary staff, all our primary staff are required to check in each day. That's to assist with the potential for contact tracing. Given the situation and the spreadability of this Delta variant of COVID, one of the things that New South Wales Health have asked us to do, and this is the big change, and you'd no doubt be aware of this because to go into a shop or an office you need to wear a mask, that it has been recommended that all secondary students and staff wear a mask at school. Now the word used is recommendation because we know in a school it's not always convenient when teachers are going to talk or when students are going to work together, that may not be suitable. So we're going to look and see what that looks like. We're going to recommend people do that. But I am asking every adult, every secondary child who comes into school to bring a mask to use when appropriate. Please note that junior school, prep, infants, primary do not need to have a mask. And certainly in the last week at school, we've been using masks where appropriate. Please note too that if you're going to catch a bus to school, all people on buses or public transport must have a mask. The other news, of course, is that students don't need to physical distance, but they are asked to follow good hygiene practices. We're not sharing food, we wash our hands, we cough into our sleeves, all those things that we've been accustomed to. Now, the other change that we've had to enforce is that adults are restricted from campus activities, so things like assemblies, watching, visiting classrooms, all those sorts of things, unless they are involved in essential education. So music tutors, people assisting in education in some ways are still able to come onto campus. The good news for us at Calrossy and the regions is that as long as we follow the COVID-19 plan that we have, we still will be able to conduct music lessons, singing, drama, dance, sport, local excursions. We take a risk assessment around all of these, and as long as we adhere to the COVID plan, we're able to do them. There may be some variations or differences. Now, there have been a number of events that have been postponed, and most notably our junior school music on Madagascar, which was to take place at the end of the first week. We've moved that back. We'll let you know when we feel it's safe and we're able to do that musical. I know people have been working hard. The secondary HRIS athletics has also been moved back into mid-August, and that's dependent on the situation elsewhere. So there's some changes, there's some requirements here. As a community, we're going to have to work together. In some ways it's not ideal, but the very, very good news for us at Calrossy is we return to school as normal. Face-to-face teaching will happen as close to normal as possible. And we're just delighted we're able to do that because, as you know, schools in Sydney, other states are not able to do that. As things change, I'll certainly keep you updated because we need to be agile. But just really looking forward to having the students back next week. We trust you've had a great holiday, and if you have questions or concerns, please let us know. I look forward to a great term 3 ahead.